Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to set up in our bullet journals for the month of November. Really excited for this because honestly I've been using my bullet journal constantly and it's been really helping with my daily life. I was really looking forward to sitting down and changing it up a little bit and setting up some spreads. So since I have been using my journal so much, I did want to do like a little bit of a flip through to show you just how it's been helping me and that the spreads last month were working really well for me. I did a lot of writing in my weekly spreads and I was skipping that in prior months a little bit, and I brought it back last month and it really has helped me versus doing so much of like the overall monthly planning pages. So I want to continue that and bring that into November. The reminders, the highlights, the ideas, the inspiration and current obsessions, the YouTube page, the buy list or expense tracker, some people call it. And then the words of wisdom I added off camera, as well as the things to letter. I did a couple like journal pages with just some random thoughts that I wanted to write down. And I thought, why not include them in my journal since I was picking up so often anyway. And then my writing tools and tips, because I am taking Skillshare classes and I want to take notes off of those classes so I can retain the information. Another journal page, and then we're on to our next blank page, which is going to be our November title page. I'm showing you a couple of the main markers that I'll be using today, and these are the Tombow dual brush pens. I do like the Arteza better. If you've seen my previous videos, then you know I'm obsessed with the Arteza brush pens, but I did want to mainly use the fine tip side of the Tombow pens, and that's what I'm starting out with. I'm drawing a large wreath. I really like to utilize both pages for the title page for the month, just because I feel like otherwise I don't really like anything on the left-hand side of the page when I just do the title page on the right. I don't want to carry something over from the previous month and put it on the left hand side of the page, because then I feel like you're not getting that fresh start. I also want to apologize if the lighting is a bit weird throughout the video. I did do a lot of color correcting and correcting the lighting just because this is the first time I've tried just filming in front of a large window and it was a little overcast. The sun kept going in and out. My main objective for filming this video was to be really comfortable and to just kind of be in a nice environment that is most like my typical workspace, because I feel myself a lot of times like holding back or just kind of sneaking away from my style when I film upstairs in my office. But bear with me through that because I'm really happy with how the spreads turned out because of my setup. Okay, so I'm now doing the fun part of the wreath where I'm just doing kind of a bundle of flowers and leaves on the left hand side. And I actually made a fall wreath with my mom. We had a little craft day. So I did have a photo from that day that I kind of used for reference. When drawing this, I wanted it to be rough because me personally, I feel like when I'm doodling and I'm way too precise, because I'm not the greatest at drawing, it looks very childish or amateur, I guess, if I'm not careful, because I'm trying too hard to be precise, but I don't have the skill set to back that up. So if you have the same problem, I recommend doing more loose drawings, just so you can kind of get the right feel, the right colors, the right vibe of what you're going for, but it doesn't look like you're trying too hard and missing the mark. You definitely can just experiment and practice more outside of your journal so you can achieve the look that you're envisioning in your mind. But for me, I thought this suited just fine. I really like how it turned out. For the first spread, I am going to do a monthly overview page just because with the holidays approaching, I do think it's going to be a bit of a busy month, so I just want to have a page separate to track all my plans and appointments, at least the main ones that I have planned in advance. Then when it comes to the weekly spreads, I will do more of a logbook style for those. That's what I use most frequently, but I think this page will be really useful for at least November and then probably December. For every month, I like to kind of pick a style of writing and then carry it through all the spreads just so it looks a little bit more uniform. So I decided to go with this really bold style lettering and then have accent colors in there that are according to my theme, some fall colors. As far as the black pen, I cannot rave about it enough. It came in a pack of 2. I'll put it in the description down below. I'll put the link to it. I got it off of Amazon just because I was going to do a brush pen comparison video, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. I know I've raved about a lot of pens on my channel. I mean, I stick with the same ones generally, but these are so jet black and inky, but they don't bleed through the pages. You'll see as I keep doing more spreads that they're just really amazing pigmented markers, and for it not to bleed through just amazes me. So highly recommend those. I haven't been able to put them down. They're like my main pen that I've been using. I'm going to actually look and see if they make them in white, because if they do, I'm going to buy a stash of them because I just love the way that they flow. The tip is amazing. It does give a little bit, has some flexibility so that you can do really nice brush lettering. The one is a little bit more flexible than the other. And the reason I brought up the white pen option is because I actually really struggle with my white Jelly Roll pen to write over this marker because it is so pigmented and inky. So I actually reached for my paint marker a little bit later on to work around that. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about this spread. This is my goals and affirmations spread. I think it's a good one for everybody to have because it's nice to go into each month with a fresh start and set up some goals for yourself that you'd like to accomplish throughout the month. And then affirmations is kind of along the same lines, but it's more geared towards your personal development and building confidence and becoming the person that you really want to be. Short term, long term, doesn't matter, but I really like that. I'm not going to fill it in right here on camera, but I will go back and fill it in at a later time. And then flipping to the next page, I'm going to do all my weekly spreads in this one sitting because I'd rather do it all at once and have it really cohesive rather than return to it at a later time and deal with that hassle, because let's be real, we want to set up for the whole month so that we don't have to go back and fill in pages. The extra pages that we want to add later on, that's fine, because I'm always coming up with new pages that I do want to add in, and I do that sporadically as they come to me. I won't bore you with each and every spread since they are going to be pretty much the same or similar, so I will just show you the first page and then I'll show you what it looks like when I have them all completed. Okay, and this is actually our last spread for the day. This is going to be my reminders and ideas spread. Usually I incorporate highlights on this as well, but since I did do highlights on each weekly spread along with the to-do list, I think reminders and ideas is perfectly fine. Plus, I realized I needed more space for that last month anyway, so having a full page dedicated to these two things is perfect. I do have one more thing I want to go over, but before I do that, I want to show you the specific spreads that I showed in my flip through in the beginning of the video, but I do plan to go back to these specific ones to add to throughout this month. Mostly the things to letter and the words of wisdom pages. And then there's also a read, watch, and listen sheet that I did, but I forgot to show you that one. But here are all the spreads that I want to include at a later time. I can either do a part 2 video or I can just do them off camera. The spreads are one line a day, current obsessions and inspiration, random thoughts, daily work hours, positivity tracker, and I think that's about it. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and also follow me on Instagram. I've been sharing a lot of lettering over there, so be sure to leave me a couple likes or comments so I know who my supporters are and I can thank you guys. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something useful out of it. Thank you again for supporting me and watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.